Hello, I'm Chris Norrie, and this presentation is based on my doctoral research at the University of Dundee, looking at improving support for young emerging communicators within special education through the support of assistive technologies. I carried out an ethnographic study in a special education school to determine the use of augmentative and alternative communication. Those are communication methods for those with impairments used to supplement or replace speech in the production or comprehension of language. What our initial study revealed was that only about 3% of children in the school were using high-tech AAC. Now, we're not suggesting that high-tech AAC is suitable for every child, but I hope to illustrate that benefits can be there and expectations raised for some of the most profoundly disabled children when resources are curated, distributed and supported more effectively. The headline takeaway message here was, how can we leverage those assistive technology supports for greater adoption and sustained use so that emerging communicators can achieve their full potentials? And this became the focus of our current research, the role of the assistive technologist, a trained professional who can innovate advanced technology solutions which cross disciplinary boundaries of computing, engineering, psychology, education, social and healthcare. Currently, there are no assistive technologists in special education that we're aware of, and so we set out to define the role in that context. An assistive technologist can be a skilled mediator, the glue if you like, within the learning environment, working closely with teachers and other staff, as well as supporting children in the use of assistive technologies. Such a team member could contribute towards eroding many of the barriers these learners face. For example, taking ownership of the tech could assist coordination and horizon scanning, and their expertise could provide a much needed source of training and knowledge of good evidence-based practice for other staff members. Assessing and supporting higher numbers of high-tech AAC users would be more feasible with a dedicated expert on hand, and the low uptake, high abandonment challenges the sector faces could be reduced. Extended access to modelling could elevate support for children with language comprehension deficits as well as improving expressive communication. However, until recently, there was no obvious professional qualification or route into this role, so we carried out a second ethnographic study with myself working as part of the team around the child, adopting the role of the assistive technologist and acting responsively as a mediator between the teacher, the AAC user and their assistive technology device. A key result was that the embedded approach facilitated familiarisation and relationship building. Data yielded support for insights attained in the earlier study, and importantly, key empirical evidence was required documenting the positive influence of the assistive technologist's role as a significant protagonist in coordinating, supporting and meeting pedagogical goals for young high-tech AAC users. The presence of an assistive technologist enabled dynamic personalisation of the focal user's AAC device, for example programming novel vocabulary just in time, which, coupled with frequent contextual aided learning stimulation, created a richer and more responsive learning environment for the focal participant and for staff, and for other children in the classroom. The assistive technologist also supported educators in developing tailored online learning activities, addressing technical issues as and when they arose, and raising awareness of evidence-based practice, both minimising disruption and supporting a more holistic learning experience for pupils. Judging by our research, many barriers experienced by aided communicators diminished significantly in the presence of an assistive technologist. At the end of our study, from our class of 7 children identified as living with PMLD, 3 now had high-tech devices and 2 more were being considered as candidates for this type of support. The assistive technologists did not do this single-handedly. The team dynamic is an essential part of this environment, but their presence had also enthused and mobilised others to re-examine practices and removed some of the fear of the unknown in embracing the technology. And in this way we hope reduced the likelihood of abandonment and promoted an increase in uptake, where appropriate, of high-tech AAC supports. The next step in our research was to prepare a framework defining the role of the assistive technologist in special education in order to promote the inclusion of what we now believe to be a critical member of any effective team in this domain. That framework is now nearing completion, and if you want to find out more, DM me on Twitter at Chris Norrie or follow me for updates. And if you're interested in finding out more generally about the assistive technologist role and opportunities for study, there's a highly relevant new course currently launching at Dundee.